Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we are going to do two ANOVA using SPSS software. What is two-way ANOVA? Two-way ANOVA. There should be two things. It means two independent variables. ANOVA, analysis of variance. To do, to find out, to calculate, to capture variance, we must require numerical data. So therefore, there should be numerical data to do two-way ANOVA. To do any sort of ANOVA, we are required numerical meaningful data. Here, the dependent variable must be numerical and meaningful. Not just numerical, it should be meaningful. It means if imagine 1, there should be a meaning of 1. If 2, there should be a meaning, real numerical meaning. As an example, the dependent variable can be pH, moisture content, a temperature, continuous variable of temperature, weight, height, like those things can be used as a dependent variable. In the case of two-way, there should be two independent variables. It means two explanatory variables. Here those independent variables must be categorical variables. Must be categorical variables. And also with those independent variables, at least there must be two levels for each variable. At least two levels for one variable is enough. Two levels, at least two levels. It means imagine we are taken as we are taken temperature as an independent variable, then there should be at least two levels. It means 150, 100, 150 and 180 level. There can be many more. It means 150, 180 level, 190 level, 200 level, like that. We can have many more levels, but there should be at least two levels. Also, the other important thing is there must be replications to two-way ANOVA because we have to calculate variance and mean. As here, I'm going to use this data set to do the two-way ANOVA. But before doing two-way ANOVA, we have to structure the data set well. If not, we can't do the two-way ANOVA. Here, what is this example is, this is a this is an preliminary experiment to find out better time and temperature combinations to bake a food item. If we imagine baking a biscuit, what is we are going to do is we are going to find out the best time and temperature combinations for baking a biscuit. Okay, for baking a biscuit. Then we are going to find out what the best time and temperature combination. You can see time and temperature combination. It means you can see for that reason actually we are doing two-way ANOVA to find out better combinations. Imagine we are using 180 degrees of Celsius for 30 minutes, 180 degrees of Celsius for 15 minutes. Can you see the time taken to do those tasks? For these tasks, for this way and for this way, we can see if we are going to bake the biscuit under 180 degrees of Celsius for 30 minutes, then we can do it if we can do it for 15 minutes. If the baked biscuit is better enough like 30 minutes, then why we are not using 50 minutes and 180 combination? Because it will reduce the energy consumption, it will reduce electricity bill, it will reduce our time consumption level. Also, it will increase, also we can do many more experiments. And also on the other hand, with 150 level as same as because if 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 we can bake a better cookie with 150 and 15 min. Why we are going to use 180 and 15 min or 152 for 20 minutes? Then I think you can understand. We can find out the best possible combination. Best possible combination. Time temperature combination to bake the product. Then I think you can understand the importance of two-way ANOVA in this type of experiment. Then I'm going to structure my data. Initially, I must say something. When we are using SPSS to do ANOVA or anything else, if we are going to do ANOVA or some regression or like technique, here, even though the independent variable is a categorical variable, we must use numerical values to represent those levels. If not, it will, the SPSS software will not produce the results for ANOVA or regression like technique. So I'm going to use only numerical ways to represent data. Okay, here is it time 15 min. But we know there are 3 levels. Okay, then I've copy 150 here and I paste 150 again here, because here there are 3 replications and I need to represent this replication. Then here the temperature, and then after that I'm going to copy paste this data here. So I will use 20 and I can just copy 20, then 30 min, then after copy and paste this, I will copy and paste 150 here. Then I will copy this all time interval and then paste here. And after that I will use 180 and I will copy and paste them here. Now my combinations are made. It means 15, 150, 20, 150, 30, 150. This structure must be used to do two-way ANOVA. Then I will put here another column called combination. Combination also very important because we are required to find out the best combination as well. I will use 1, 1, 1. Why? 15 and 150 is a one level. 20 and 150 again another different level. Then I will use 2 here. Then 3 to represent 30 min and 150. Then 4, 15 min and 180. Then 5, 20 min and 180. Then 6 to represent 30 min and 160. Here I use numerical values, because if not the SPSS will not produce results. Then I will copy pH and temperature data here and I will paste them here. Then again I will copy this data and paste here and copy them and paste them here. Then I will copy and paste this data as well. Then paste them here. Then again I will copy this data points and I will paste them here. Then I will copy this data points and paste them. We don't need to worry about this because while pasting this will automatically removed. And now I have created my data set to do two-way ANOVA using SPSS software. I will select this and paste into another sheet, and then I will save this data. Then what I have to do is I have to open my SPSS software. Then I will go file menu, then open data. Then I will go new column, my YouTube channel, and I will choose Excel files and two-way ANOVA Excels. Then it will take some time to open, and it is open, and then I will choose sheet 5 because my data is in sheet 5, and then I will open the data. Then this is output window, and I need to see the input window, and here the data is, we can see the data clearly. Then I will go variable view. Why why I'm going to why I need to go to variable view? In this combination I just use few levels, but I need to name them properly. Then I have to go to this, and I will split the window to easily. Then I will go values in the combination. Then here value 1 to represent 15 and 150 level. I will add them. Value 2 to represent 15 and 20 and 150 level. Then value 3 to represent 30 and 150 level. Then value 4 to represent 15 and 180 level. Value 5 to represent 20 and 180 level. Value 6 to represent 30 and 180 level. Then I will click OK. Then to see any sort of unnecessary thing that I have done, I need to check whether this is correct. Then you can see it is correct because 1 to represent 15, 150, and you can see clearly it is correctly make labels with values. Then here time min is not a scale here, actually it is a nominal. We can put it as ordinal as well, but that is not a scale because we are using a category. We can use ordinal also, but I will use it as a nominal because I am just representing it as a level, but because here it is not a matter, and I will use again nominal and again nominal, and these two are scale because those two are the numerical data. These three are just yes. Here there are values. Also there are meaningful also these values, but I don't need to do any sort of, I don't need to find out any mean or anything else with this. Therefore, I just use them as nominal data because they are just to represent levels. 15 minutes level, 20 minute level, 30 minute levels. Yes, there is some sort of order. Ordinal also we can use because that is also categorical, but that is not a real big issue. The issue is here if anything is here, we can change this to string, and anything is if anything is string, it means if I use any okay, I will put a here. Then go back here. In the case of variable level, you can see that is as string. With the strings, we can do two-way ANOVA or ANOVA-like technique. That's why I use numerical data to represent combination. I think you can understand what I'm saying. Then the data set is completed and I don't need this. I just to show you what happened, what can be happen if we are using some sort of string there. Then I'm going to analyze, I'm going to general linear model, I'm going to univariate. Then I open data, then the dependent variable is pH, one at a time. Then I will use this as a fixed factor and this as a fixed factor. Then because here we are not considering about a model, here we are just considering about the effects or interactions. Here the model we don't need to worry about that much. And then if we need to plot separate line or horizontal axis, we can determine the horizontal axis. I will use it as time and I will use separate lines, or I can use anything separate plots as well. Then I will add. Then you can see the combination. There will be a graph with combination. It is not necessary to do two-way ANOVA. Then save. There are, you can see postdocs and I am not going to bother with that. And then save also I'm not going to bother with them. Then options. In the case of options, also we can, if you are and if you are required, you can see the means and all with this. But we don't need much think about this because the data because this will give the required result for us. If we need to see whether the data set is homogeneity, then we can check by clicking here, and we can, if we are required descriptive statistic, we can use descriptive statistic options here. We don't need the other things because we are not bothering about the model parameter or anything else. We are just considering the effect. If we are in another video to find out peaks, effects and other things, I will use the other things, but here we don't need any sort of parameter or anything. We don't need to bother about this anymore because originally this will give the two-way ANOVA results. Then I have to do okay. Then the SPSS will give us the required results. And you can see here clearly you can see the descriptive data. It means the pH mean and standard deviation values of 15 and 150, 20, 150, 30, 150. You can see clearly 20, 180 and all the mean relevant to all combinations are included in here with very clear manner. That's why I use descriptive statistic option. Then Leavini test. Actually, it is used to find out the homogeneity, and here significant value is greater than 0.05. Therefore, the null hypothesis can be accepted. Therefore, the variance are equally distributed. Then we can do the future analysis. It means do the future analysis mean we can do actually the test results are extremely valid. Then here in this is our requirement. Actually, there is we don't need to look much bother about the corrected model because here we are not considering about model or intercept. We are considering about the effect only. We have to look at those two because if the model is not significant, definitely results will not be significant. And then here then we have to consider about the effects. Time is significantly affected. Temperature also significantly affected for pH, but time and temperature combination is not significantly affected. It means there is not an interaction effect between time and temperature. Between combination effect of time and temperature is not significant. It means uh, 15 min and 150, and also if we consider 15 min and 180, we can guarantee is there is any sort of a significant difference. That is the meaning of that. And you can see clearly with this, because the pattern with 150 and pattern with 180 is exactly similar. Therefore, there is not a interaction effect. You can see it very clearly. If this one is cross these graphs, then there will be a interaction effect. You can see the patterns are exactly similar. Only we can see 150 is little bit higher. It has a little bit higher pH. That is the only difference. That's why it is not. That's why the here it does not show any sort of interaction effect. I think you can understand that clearly. If those two patterns are not similar, if there is an interaction effect, then also on the other hand also it is similar. You can see 20 min, and if we consider on the other hand, if you use here time and here use temperature, you will see some sort of similar, because for 20 the same way, and for 30 the same way, and for 15 the same manner, then therefore there is not an interaction effect. But we can see clearly there is a single effect. So you may remember that initially I used a combination. Then initially we must have to find out whether there is a significant interaction effect or not. Then after that, after confirming with the presence of significance of interaction effect, if there is a significant effect, actually the thing we can go with this. But if there is not that as well, we are going to do this as well. Here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do one way ANOVA this combination. I'm going to find the initially you can see the steps: analysis, compare means, then one way ANOVA. Then my dependent variable is pH. I will put it as here as pH. Then combination is my factor. Then I will just show you what are the things. I don't need to bother about this. And here the postdocs, since equal variance can be assumed, therefore we can use Tukey test, or else we can use one of these. But basically I like to use Tukey test. Then in here there are some options, but we don't need, because in the previous case we take these statistics. So here we don't need those. Also means plots also not required, but if we are required, you can see what is in here. Then continue. Then okay, then just put okay. Then you can see that must be significant, because single effects are significant on the two-way ANOVA. Then these are the significant difference between each pair. It means 15 mean 150 where difference between 15 mean and 150, and 20 mean 150 where difference between 15 mean 150 and 30 mean 150. And I think you can understand. And here it will show the significant difference, and here there's not a significant difference between 15 min and 150 and 20 min and 150, but there is a significant difference between 15 min 150 combination and 30 min 150 combination. We can see there is a clear significant difference between. Also those two also significant difference from this, and you can go through this and one by one you can find out. But there is another easy way to find out those significant difference. We can see this table here. There are three subsets. It means there is not a significant difference between these two. That's why those two are in say one column, and there is not a significant difference between these three. That's why they are in same column. Also, there is not a significant difference between these two. On the other hand, those two also doesn't have any sort of a significant difference. I think you can see, because if anything is common, then there is not a significant difference. Then if you need to put any sort of number, any sort of alphabet English letter, we can use A here, B here, C here. Then A is representing these two and B here. Then for this, then C here, and to represent these two, it means to show the two key results in a table. We have to use BC to represent those two, and there on the other on also we can say there's not a significant difference between 30 min 180 combination and 30 min 150 combination. Also in this way we can say there's not a significant difference between 15 min and 180 combination and 20 min 180 combination. Also there's not a significant difference between those three as well, because those all are because the same thing is repeated in this way. There's not a significant between these two, these three and these three, but there is significant difference between this one and this one, okay? Because they are not common. There's not any common thing with those two. If you are using A for those two, only B for here, B, C for these two, and only C for this one. I think you can understand clearly the things with two-way ANOVA. Then I'm going to do two-way ANOVA again for the other dependent variable as well. I will put moisture here and I will use OK because we have already constructed all. Then OK. Then you can see the results and here clearly, but you can see error variance is not significant, but also there is not a combination effect. Also this also suggested that you can see similar pattern is repeating here, therefore there is not a interaction effect between these two. Then if we go to compare means and one way ANOVA, then I will remove pH, I will add moisture content here, and that is in here, and same way that is one ANOVA is significant, and we can see the we can see pairwise comparison here to key, since I was using to key. Then again there are more than there are 4 subsets ABC, okay, ABC, BC, C, D, D. If we are use letters to represent those things, I think you got a better idea about two-way ANOVA. So if I give something more, it means to do two-way ANOVA, we are required 2 independent variables as well as 1 dependent variable. The dependent variable must be numerical one, and the independent variable must be categorical variables. Thank you so much. I think you got a better idea about two-way ANOVA. Thank you. Subscribe my channel if it is helpful for you.